G'day folks. Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are one and free. For those watching who may be unfamiliar, it is the very first line of our national anthem. But deep into 2021, with ongoing border closures and increasingly parochial states, we are not one and we are not free. Take Melbourne, for example, now with the unenviable title of the world's most locked down city. A protester at Flinders Street train station thrown to the ground by a police officer who's now been red-carded and suspended from the force. Or what about the two elderly women sitting on a park bench in Melbourne who were threatened with arrest for, well, sitting on a park bench in lockdown Melbourne?
This is unlawful. On what grounds am I under arrest?
The Victorian government justifies these actions because they supposedly keep a lid on infections and deaths, yet infections are now the highest they've ever been. If you hadn't noticed, the world is watching and paying us out. Last week, British sports writer Oliver Brown remarked that a country once celebrated for its subversive larrikin spirit has been paralysed for 20 months by the fantasy that it can insulate itself indefinitely from a global pandemic. It's not a bad take. Families are being kept apart by border closures, so seeing sick loved ones or attending interstate funerals is a long shot. Australia is one of very few countries around the world with severe internal travel restrictions. Supporters say that's justified because our deaths and infections are amongst the lowest in the world, which is true. But last time I checked, my passport has Australia on it, not a specific state. Even our American friends are now laying into us. This recently from Tucker Carlson.
What does Australia look like? Well, it looks a lot like China did at the beginning of the pandemic. That's the sad truth. We showed you those pictures from China at the time. People being welded inside their apartments to starve. The guys in hazmat suits forcing people into quarantine boxes and then driving away to some unknown destination. At the time, our public health officials, including Tony Fauci, told us that nothing like that could ever happen in our country or in the West. But that was wrong, because those things are now happening in Australia.
So that's from Fox. But I was thinking, maybe Oliver Brown, who knows the Australian way, is right. Have we lost our sense of fun? Has the "she'll be right" mantra that's tattooed on the Australian spirit faded? You know what I'm talking about, right? Daryl Kerrigan?
Tell him he's dreaming.
Is it the ongoing lockdown? Or maybe we'd lost it beforehand, because like it or not, Australia is a nanny state. And you've got social media where making any kind of political comment will leave you hung, drawn and quartered. Now, that's not unique to Australia, but it is real. People are angry, they are tired, and in hundreds of thousands of cases, they are financially broke right now. So society is fractured here. Not all of it, but a lot of it. I guess you can't blame someone for not being able to take a joke right now. Folks, if you like these videos, please like, share and subscribe below. I'll see you next week.